Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today in this video we will learn how to create a weather app using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. This will be very good JavaScript project for your resume or portfolio. Here you can see we have this search box where we can enter this city name. Let me write another city name here and click on this search icon. You can see it will update the weather icon and temperature, city name and humidity and wind speed. Let me write another city name here. You can see it is changing. Let me write another city name. You can see this icon is also updating and you can see the current temperature and humidity and wind speed. We will create this beautiful weather app using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So keep watching this video till the end, and before starting this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe my channel Easy Tutorials. Now let's start the video. Here I have this folder, and in this folder I have added one HTML file, one CSS file and another folder called images, and in this one you can see some icons. You can find all these icons download link in the video description. And let me open these files with my code editor, which is Visual Studio Code. You can use any code editor. So this is the HTML file where I have added the basic HTML structure, and this one is the CSS file. Here I have added the margin padding, font family and box sizing. These CSS properties are applicable for all the HTML element. In this HTML file, I have added this link tag with the file name style.css, so it will connect the HTML and CSS file. And here we have the web page title, Weather App Easy Tutorials. Now we will add the CSS. So let's come back to the CSS file, and here let's add body, and here we will change the background. So let's add one background color here. After adding this, let's come back to the folder and open this HTML file with any web browser. So you can see this dark color on the complete web page. Let me close this browser and I will open it with the Visual Studio Code extension called Live Server. So you can see the same web page again, which is in dark color. So this web page will be refreshed automatically whenever we will add any changes in the code file. After that, let's come back to the code file, and in this HTML file, within this body tag, let's create one div with the class name card. Within this card, we have to create one search box. So here we will add one div with the class name search. And within this search, we have to add one input box and one search button. So here we will add the input field. Input type will be text, and here we will add the placeholder. So in this placeholder, I will write the text, enter city name, and here we will add spell check false. Now in the next line, we will add one button. So here we will add button, and in this button we have to add one icon. So let's add the img tag and file path of the search icon. So it is images / file name search.png. After adding this, let me come back to the website, and here you can see this input field and this search icon. After that, we have to add some CSS. So here you can see we have the class name called card. So write this class name here in this CSS file, and here we will add some CSS properties for this card. In this card, I have added the max width and width. Then we have added the background. In this background, I have added the linear gradient color, and this is the colored white. That will be the text color inside this card. And after that, we have added the margin 100 pixel from top and 0 from bottom, left, right, auto. Then we have added the border radius that will make the corners round, and we have added some padding that will be a space inside the card. and text align center. Now you can see this gradient color in this box, and this box is in the center. And now we will add the CSS for this search. So let's come back, and here you can see we have the class name search. So write this class name here, and for this search we will add width. Width will be 100%. Then we will add the display, flex, and align items center. Then we will add justify content. This will be space between. So the input field and search button will be aligned horizontally side by side. After that we will add the same class name, and in this one we have added the input field. So write input, and now we will add the CSS for this input field. For the input field, I have added border 0, outline 0, and background color, then color. Then I have added some padding and height and the border radius, then flex 1 and margin right and font size. After that you can see this input box is looking good. Next we have to design this button. So let's come back, and here we will add the same class name search, and in this one we have the button. So let's add the CSS for the button. Here also we will add the same thing, border 0, outline 0, and background. After that we will add the border radius. So the border radius will be 50%, it will be circle. Next we will add the width 60 pixel and height also 60 pixel, and cursor pointer. In this button we have the search icon with the img tag. So write img, and for this search icon we will add width. So the width will be 16 pixel. After adding this, let's come back to the website, and now you can see this input field and search button is also looking good. Next we have to display the weather detail of any city. So first we will add some random details, then we will update it using the API. So let's come back, and in this HTML file, after this search we will add another div with the class name weather. And in this one let's add the img tag, file path of the image. So here we will add any random image. So let's add rain.png, and here we will add the class name. So the class name is weather icon. After that we have to display the temperature. So here we will add the temperature in h1 tag, and we will add one class name also. So let's add the class name temp, and here we will add the temperature 22 degrees Celsius. So let's copy the degrees Celsius from Google. We will copy from here. So you can right click this 22 degrees Celsius, and after that we will add the city name in h2 tag. So in this one we will add one class name city, and here we will add any city name. And after adding this, let's come back to the website. You can see this weather icon, weather temperature and city name. So next we have to display the humidity icon and wind icon and the value. So let's come back. After this h2, let's create another div with the class name details. In this details we have to create two columns. So let's add col. This is for the first column, and in the first one let's add one image. So I will add the img file path, humidity.png, and after that we will add the text in div. So let's create one div, and in this one we will add p tag and one class name. And let's add 50%. And here we will add another text. Now we will duplicate this column. Here we will update the image. It will be wind. Here also we will change the class name. It will be wind. And here we will update the text, wind speed. Here we will add 15 km/h. Now we will add the CSS. So in this weather we have the image with the class name weather icon. So let's copy this one and add it here. For this weather icon we will add the width. It will be 170 pixel. Then we will add the margin from the top, 30 pixel. After that we have the title in h1 h2. So within this weather we will add h1. For this h1 let's add the font size. It will be 80 pixel and font weight 500. Let's duplicate it, and here we will add h2, and for this h2 we will update the font size. It will be 45 pixel, then font weight is 400, and next we will add the margin top minus 10 pixel. Now the size for the weather icon and text is perfect. Now let's come back, and here we have the class name details. Let's copy this and add it here in this CSS file. For this detail we have to add display flex, because we have to create two columns, align items center and justify content space between. Then we will add some padding. Padding will be 0 and 20 pixel, 20 pixel from left and right side. Then we will add the margin from the top to add space from the top. So margin top 50 pixel. So now you can see this humidity in the left side and wind speed in the right side. Next we have to update the size of these icons and text. So let's come back, and within this details we have created columns. So let's add that class name call, and in this one we will add display flex, align items center and text align left, and then we will add call img, because we have added the icons with the img tag. Width will be 40 pixel, then margin from the right side, it will be 10 pixel. Now you can see perfect size for these icons. Next we will add the CSS for this text, which is 50% and 15 km/h. So let's come back, and here we have the class name for these text, which is humidity and wind. So add this class name here, comma wind. Here we will update the font size. Font size is 28 pixel and margin top will be -6 pixel. Now this design is looking perfect. Next we have to update this weather information whenever you will enter any city name. For that we will use the API. So let's open Google and open this website, openweathermap.org. Here you will get the free API. Here you have to create an account. So let's click on this sign in. Here we will click on create an account. Create a new account, enter the username, email ID, password and repeat password. Here in this company field, I will add my name and purpose is education. Save. It will send you a verification email. Open your email ID and verify the email. Then click on API keys. Here you will get this API and we have to use this API in our code file. Here in this navigation menu you can see API. Let's open this page in new tab. Scroll down and click here. Current weather data API doc. Let's click on this link. Here scroll down and come here, built-in API request by city name. So just copy this one and paste it in the URL. Here you can add any city name. Let's add Germany and here you have to enter the API key. So let's add this API key here and click enter. Here it is displaying the error message invalid API key. It means the API is not activated now. It may take couple of hours to activate the API key. So wait for some time, let the API key activated. After activation of the API key, you will see the weather information in this JSON format. Here you can see the city name that we have added in the URL. Then you can see the temperature here. It is not in the degree Celsius. So to get the temperature in degree Celsius, let's come back and here you will see option to add the unit. You can see we have the standard, metric and imperial, and the by default unit is standard. So we have to add the metric unit. So let's come to this URL and here we will add units equal to metric. After that you will see the temperature information in degree Celsius, and if I change the city name here, you can see temperature is changing and the city name is changing. So we have to display these data on our app. So let's copy this and come back to the code file. In this HTML file above this closing body tag, here we will add script open and closing tag, and within this let's create one variable with the const keyword. Let's add the name API key. Here we will add the API key, and next we will add one more const and it will be API URL. Here we will add the API URL. So let me add the complete URL in this one, and from here we will remove this API key, this one. Let me remove this and add it here. We have added the API key in this variable and remove this app ID. And remove this city also. So in this one we have the URL and we have added the unit metric. In this URL we have just added the unit metric, and let's add the city also for now. Here we will add and q equal to, and let me add one city name, Bangalore, and after that here we will add one async function and we will add the name for this function. It will be check weather. Const response equal to await fetch, and in this fetch we will add the URL, which is API URL. So add this API URL in this one, and at the end of this API URL we have to add the API key also. So to add that API key we will add this backtick. This is not quote, this is backtick, and in this one let's add and app ID equal to this API key, like this. In the next line we will add var data equal to await response dot JSON. Now this data will have all the information about the weather from this particular city, which is Bangalore. So let's display this data on our web page. So let me display it in our console. So for that we will add console.log and data. That's it. After adding this, let's come back to the website and inspect, then click on console. Here it is not displaying anything, so first we have to call this function. So just copy this one and add it here just above this closing script tag. So whenever the web page will be loaded, it will call this function. So now again come back to the website. You can see it is displaying the weather information in this JSON format in our browser console. So let's expand this one. Here we have the main, and in this main we have the temp, which is temperature. We have the name Bengaluru, then we have the weather, and in this weather we have the array 1, and in the first array, which is index 0, we have the weather condition like clouds, and here we have the wind, and in this wind we have the wind speed, and we need the humidity. It will be there in this one. Let's open this main, and in this main you can see humidity 32. So we got all the informations. Now we have to display this information on our app. So let's come back. We have to update this temp, city, humidity and wind information according to the data coming from the API. So we will select all these elements and we will update the data. So we will add document.querySelector.city. So it will select the city element, and inner HTML will update the text written in this element, and here we will add the data, which is here, this data, then dot, and in this data let's come back to the web page, and you can see we have name. Directly we have the name. So let's come back, and here we will add data dot name. So it will update the city name. Now duplicate it, and here we will add the next one, which is temp. And to get the temp data, temperature data, let's come back, and here you can see we have the temperature inside this main. First we have the main, and in this main we have the temp. So let's come back, and here we will add data dot main dot temp. Now again duplicate it. Here we will add humidity, and here also we have the main and humidity. It is here main and humidity. Next we need the wind information, so it is here wind, then speed. So again come back, let's duplicate it. Here we will add wind class name, and here we will add data dot wind dot speed. After adding this, now we will come back to the website, and you can see it is displaying the correct data, which is 26.7, then Bengaluru, humidity 31 and wind speed 4.63. But we need the percentage, degree Celsius and kilometer per hour. So let's come back, and after this temp we will add plus, and copy this degree Celsius. In this humidity we will add plus colon percentage. And in this speed let's add the plus and colon space kilometer per hour. So you can see this one degree Celsius, then 31% and 4.63 kilometer per hour wind speed. Next we have to round off this temperature, so it will display only the integer, either 26 or 27 degrees Celsius. So let's come back, and here in this temp let's add math dot round, and in this one add this data main temp. That's it, round dot math data main temp. After that you can see 27 degrees Celsius. Right now it is displaying the information of the particular city that we have added here in this API link, but we need to enter the city name in this input box, and that city information will be displayed in this app. So let's come back, and here we will remove this Bangalore, remove this city name. We will add the city name through this check weather function. So here we will add city, and in this fetch we will add API URL plus and city plus. We are adding this city here. Now whenever we will call this check weather function, we have to pass the city name. So this city name will come from the input field. So after this const, here we will add two other variables. So let's add const search box equal to document dot query selector, this class name search, and in this search we have the input and button. So write this one dot search input, so it will select the input field. Duplicate this line, and here we will add search btn, and it will be button. When people will click on this search button, it should send the city information in this check weather function. So search btn dot add event listener, and the event is click, comma arrow function. In this function we will call this check weather, so add this here, and this check weather will have the city information written in the input field. So to get the data written in the input field, we will add the search box dot value. So this search box dot value will give the city name written in the input field, and it will pass this city name in this check weather, and it will be added in this API, and it will give the information of the particular city. After updating all these things, let's come back to the website, and here it is displaying the default information that we have added in the HTML code. But if I write any city name here and click on the search icon, you can see it is updating the weather information: 27 degrees Celsius, Bengaluru, 30% and 5.66. Let me write another city name, New York. It is displaying the correct weather information. Right now it is not updating the image here because we have not added any code to update the weather icon or weather image. So to update this weather image, let's come back, and after updating these text, we have to update the image. So we will update the image according to the weather condition. So let me come back, and if I open this, here you can see we have the weather, and in this weather we have the main. This main is the weather condition. Right now the weather condition is clear, and if I open this one, and here you can see weather condition is clouds. So there are multiple weather conditions. You can check on this website. So I already have the images for all the weather conditions, which is this one. So we will update these images according to the weather condition. Now let's come back, and here we will add if data dot weather 0. You can see this weather in this 0 index, then we have main. So let's come back, and here we are adding data dot weather 0 dot main. So this main will give the weather condition. We will check if it is clouds, like this. So if it is clouds, then we have to add the cloud image. So we will fetch this element where it is, this one, weather icon. So here we will add const weather icon equal to document dot query selector weather icon, and add it here weather icon dot src. It will update the source file equal to the exact file path images slash clouds dot png. You can see in this images folder I have the clouds.png. So when the weather condition is clouds, it will display the clouds image. Now let me add the other images for other weather condition. So we have added different image for different weather condition: clear, rain, mist, drizzle. So after adding this, let's come back to the website, and here if I write Bangalore, it is giving an error. So let's come back, and here we have added the class names, so we will add one dot also. After adding this dot weather icon, let's come back, and if I enter the city name, search, You can see the weather icon is also changing. Let's add another city name. Here also we have the same icon. We have the same cloudy icon. Then New York. You can see this icon. So it is updating all the information when we enter the city name and click on the search icon. Now let's refresh the website, and by default we are getting all this information, so we have to hide this information and it will be displayed when you will enter any city name. So let's come back, and here we have the weather. So let's copy this one, add it here in the CSS file, and for this weather we will add display will be none, so it will be hidden. You can see we have only the search bar and this search icon. And if I enter any city name here and click on search icon, it will not display the detail because we have added the display none. So we have to make this display block when we will enter the city name. So let's come back. Here we can remove this console, and after this image, let's add document dot query selector dot weather dot style dot display. So it will be block. So after adding this, if I write the city name here, click on search icon, it is displaying the information 0 degrees Celsius, and we have the icon here. Now again refresh the website, it is hidden, and if I enter the another city name, you can see it is displaying different icon, temperature, city name, and other informations. Next we have to add one more thing. Suppose we enter the wrong city name and click on the search icon, so it is displaying undefined and the previous data, so it should display one error message. So let's come back, and here we have the search, and after the search we will add one div with the class name error. In this one we will add one message, invalid city name, like this. So you can see this message here, invalid city name. So first we will add the CSS for this error. Let's copy this one, add it here in this CSS file, and here we will add text align left, then margin left, it will be 10 pixel, then font size will be 14 pixel, and margin top 10 pixel. So it is displaying here. So if I refresh the website, this error message is displaying by default, so we have to hide this error message, and it will be displayed whenever user will enter any wrong city name. So let's come back, and here also we will add display none, so it is hidden. You can see we have only search bar and search icon, there is no error message. But if I enter any wrong city name here, it is not displaying anything. So let's come back, we have to display the error message. Here we have added const response await fetch URL. So here we have to check the response code, so we will add if response dot status equal to 404. It means if the city name is invalid, it will give the status 404. Then we have to display the error message, and we have to hide the weather information. We will add document dot query selector error dot style dot display. equal to block. So that error message will be displayed. Let's duplicate it, and it will be weather and it will be none. So weather information will be none, that will be hidden. Here we are adding if, so again we will add else, and let's add the remaining thing in this else condition. Copy this one and paste it inside this else. So when the status code is not equal to 404, then only it will update the data. And we need one more thing, just copy this display block and add it here. And here we will add display none. So that error message will be hidden when it is displaying the data. After adding this, again come back to the website, and if I enter the city name, click on the search icon, it is displaying the correct information. If I enter the wrong city name here and click on the search icon, you can see it is displaying invalid city name. Let's add another city name, search. So finally we have completed this beautiful weather app using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I hope this video will be helpful for you. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. Please like and share this video, and also subscribe my channel Easy Tutorials to watch more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching this video.